Hi, I'm Rob with AGM Global Vision, and we're here on the range today to talk about your Anaconda TC50. Now, this is proudly made in the United States. It's a 640 by 512, and the first question is, who's going to own and operate something like this? For me, I like a device like this because when it's a clip-on, I can attach it to multiple systems without having to re-zero. The Anaconda TC50 is a 640 by 512. Now, let's first take a look at what comes in the box. First off, the thermal unit itself. Next is your eye cups, which we'll go into a little bit more later in the video. And in addition to that, you have your remote on-off switch, which we'll show you how to mount soon. Also included with your package is the green carrying case, the manual, and a package of batteries. So looking at your Optic, you've got your lens cover on the front, you've got your focus. On the top, you'll find your menu and your toggle options for your menu. On the side, you'll find a small section of Picatinny rail. This will allow you to attach a red dot or some of the extra accessories that you might prefer. Underneath, you'll find our mount, which we'll get into a little bit later. And on the opposite side, you'll find your battery compartment and a power source and video out. In your manual packet, you'll also find a few extra goodies. The batteries I mentioned earlier, some cables you might use for extras down the road, and then you'll also find an additional battery holder so you can get a speed reload in case you're in the field and need to replace your batteries. Now, installing the batteries. To insert your batteries, first, you'll want to remove the battery case cover. Simply unscrewing. You'll notice there's some thick knurling on the outside. This will allow you to do a battery swap even if you're wearing gloves. Then you'll remove the battery container. From here you can see this is designed to hold two of your 123 lithium batteries, one facing up, one facing down. Think of this as kind of like a 9-volt. It doesn't really matter which you do on either side as long as one is up and one is down. Reinstalling the batteries back into the Optic and then tightening the cap back on top. And now your batteries are installed. Now let's talk about mounting. To mount your Optic, first you want to open the lever all the way to the open position. If you can see the locking latch, that means it's in the closed position. So you want to depress the locking latch and swing the lever all the way to the right so it's in the open position. Then you're going to align it to your rail section and then drop on and then latch. Right about there, it's tight. If it's more than hand tight, you probably need to make an adjustment. And to make an adjustment, what you'll do is return back to the unlocked position and push the entire mechanism down. You'll find a screw on the opposite side that you'll be able to back out or tighten. Then make sure it aligns to the mount before you tighten it back on. Now here you can see that the sight is just a little bit too high in comparison to the Optic. So I wouldn't recommend running your system like this. If you're going to use a system like this, I would increase your sight height by using taller rings. Let's look at another platform. So here we are mounting our Optic onto an AR-15, keeping a little bit more in line with the Optic. Once we mount the Optic on, you can see that my scope is straight in line with the thermal, and this is ideally what you're looking for. Now let's look at one more mounting option. Here we're mounting it onto a spotting system. So whether it's night vision or thermals, you and your shooter can be on the same page and same type of optic. And again, we can see that I'm straight in line with the center of the objective lens. So depending upon the type of environment you're in, you might want to reduce your signature from observation. In order to do so, you might look at some of the cup options. Now, as you've got light being pulled in from your Optic, it's going to drive between the two. And to fill this gap, you've got this device which screws into your thermal and then opens up to your Optic, therefore preventing any leakage of that light. And on the rear side, you can attach this to your scope. And now you've got your proper eye relief within inside this cup, but you're not bleeding the excess light on. If you've got a smaller objective lens, like say one of the 1:8s or 1:6 types, you're looking at more of a 30mm objective lens, and this will allow you to fill that gap in a smaller section, unlike this, which is obviously designed for much larger objective types. Lastly, we have more for an ACOG that has an odd type of hood to it. This allows you to screw into the backside of your thermal unit and drop inside the recessed objective lens and not bleed that excessive light. Another thing about your eye cup is that if your eye relief is a little bit shorter, you can actually cut this to fit what's more proper for your specific Optic. You can tell the team at AGM put in a lot of time to make sure that you would probably be able to mount and reduce your light signature. Lastly, AGM also includes an on-off remote switch. This allows you to attach anywhere on your weapon to a Picatinny rail. This will allow you to place the Optic in the standby position so that you can power on and off at a moment's notice without wasting any of that battery life. A consideration is with all clip-ons, we're magnifying our optic onto a screen. So there's an appropriate range of magnification we should be thinking about using. Now what I have found is on 6 power I get a very clean image. And sometimes when I need to make target identification, I might zoom up to 8 or 10 power, but when it comes time to take my shot, I'll usually drop that down to about the 6 magnification range for maximum clarity. Some add-ons you might consider for your optic is 1, an extended battery life. This battery pack can be attached to the side of your weapon and then plugged into the side of your unit. Once you have this attached, it will get you up to 12 hours of battery life. Other accessories include a Wi-Fi device. In some units, they'll come with a Wi-Fi. However, we decided that to increase your battery life and minimize the options and haggle that you might have to deal with in your optic, to keep it simple. And if you don't want the option, you don't need it. And if you choose, by all means, strap this onto the side of your weapon, and now you can connect to your phone or whatever type of device you like. Along the same mentality, we didn't put a recording system in this. We wanted to reduce the weight and increase the battery life. So if you're one of the guys who likes to record, you can purchase this device. You'll be able to attach this to the side of your weapon and then plug it into your optic. This will allow you to record on a micro SD. At AGM, we wanted to go over the top to ensure durability of your optic. So we made sure we're not only mil spec, but we're waterproof, fully submersible, and it's recoil shock rated of up to 50 caliber. So now that you've got your optic mounted onto your weapon, it's time to test for POI shift. Now, point of impact shift, you'll find often won't take place with AGM Global equipment. However, if it does, it will often be repeatable. So if you take notes on what the shift was, next time you mount your optic, it will be the same shift. Let's go ahead and go live fire. So with my already 0 daytime optic, the clip-on didn't shift my groups at all, which means there's no need to take any notes or record any data. I'm ready to hunt. Thanks for joining us today on the range to learn about your AGM Anaconda TC50. If you have any other questions or you're interested in any other products that AGM Global offers, please reach out to us at agmglobalvision.com.